Wednesdays, and it is tax at 20 to 12 because you know what? If we don't do this work, of informing people and getting them compliant, we will have not succeeded in what we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about tax exemptions.
Okay.
So last week we spoke about gross income and how every single cent that you earn needs to be declared to SARS.
Yes.
But of that, there are certain exemptions.
Yeah.
So on your tax return, what you would actually do is you would declare the income, and then you move on to the next section. The next section, which of the income that you've declared is exempt.
Okay.
So that's what we're talking about today. We'll run through a couple of the most common exemptions, and there are many. We cannot possibly go through all of them.
Sure.
But I'll go through.
But they are common ones.
They are common ones,
which happen to more people than not.
That's correct.
Right. Let's get into it and see what we can do for the people.
So the first common one is interest. So a lot of us keep money in our bank accounts and we earn interest. We've got certain savings accounts that generate interest for us.
Yeah.
So that interest, remember, is not from your employer.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been taxed before.
Yes.
It's new money that needs to be taxed. So in addition to your employment income, you then also need to declare your interest income, which needs to be taxed.
How often does that happen? Once a year?
Yes.
Okay.
So what you would get from your bank is an IT3 certificate, and that will then declare all of your income or populate all of your income that you've earned from the bank, and then you then declare that onto your tax return.
Okay.
But the good news is that a huge chunk of that is exempt. So basically you don't pay tax on it, but the declaration still needs to be made.
Because they need to know.
They need to know.
They need to know.
Yes.
Okay.
And the thresholds, if I can give you the amounts for that. So basically it's interest from a South African company only. And if you are under the age of 65, your exemption threshold is 23,800. So basically what that means is the first 23,800 worth of interest that you earn is tax-free.
So that's exempt.
That's exempt.
Anything after that is
taxable.
Okay.
Yes. And then if you're above the age of 65, the amount is 34,500. And anything above that amount that is interest would then be taxable.
Okay.
And then I mentioned earlier that it's from South African companies only. So if you earn any foreign interest, so if you invested into a company that's outside of South Africa, then that tax is unfortunately fully taxable. The exemption would not apply.
Okay.
And then
is this now income that the money that still needs to come back into the country?
So, yes. So once it comes into the country.
Once it comes into the country.
That's correct.
Okay,
yes.
Got you.
And then this is now different to the tax-free savings. So a lot of us would have gotten onto the bandwagon of tax-free savings, which is an excellent tool.
Yeah.
So the tax-free saving portfolio itself is, as it says, tax-free.
Right.
So it falls under a completely different section of the Income Tax Act. What I'm talking about here is Section 10(1)(h) of the Income Tax Act. So just pure interest from a bank or whatever financial institution that is specifically not a tax-free savings account.
Does that apply for investment interest as well?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then moving on to the next exemption, we're going to talk about dividends. Now, dividend, you would get a dividend if you're a shareholder. So if you buy shares, you invest in shares on the JSE, or you go through a stockbroker and you get a share portfolio, some of the companies may pay you out a dividend. And for as long as it's a South African company, that dividend income, remember once again, that's new money that's never been taxed before, then that dividend from a South African company would be exempt. So you still need to make the declaration, but on your return, you would get the exemption. And that is fully exempt because the tax is actually paid by the company paying you the tax dividend before it actually hits your bank account.
Okay. Yeah. So yours is a pure amount that is not taxable again.
Yes, that's correct. And then moving swiftly along to the next one is body corporates.
Okay.
So if you stay in a complex that's managed by a body corporate,
Yeah.
whether it's an apartment or it's a complex of
Like a spread
townhouses,
out, yeah, like development or whatever.
that's correct.
Right.
And there's a body corporate managing all of
Yeah.
that activity that's going on in that property, you would then most likely pay a levy to the body corporate. That levy is not taxable in the hands of the body corporate. So you, as the individual who's staying there, would need to pay. So obviously, there's no income to you. You actually paying out
Yeah.
money, but the body corporate that's receiving the income would then not need to pay tax
Okay.
on that receipt of the levy. But if the body corporate has any other income, the exemption of any other income that the body corporate receives is limited to 50,000 Rand for the year.
Okay.
So typical
So
example
they have to pay tax on anything more than 50,000.
for any other income.
Okay.
So the levy income that the residents pay is purely tax free.
Okay.
But any other income, so examples of any other income that a body corporate might get is, say, the rules of the complex is that you're not allowed to make noise after 11, otherwise you incur a fine. And
500 Rand, and then 1,000, and then a warning, and then a eviction.
That's correct. So then,
because I know.
I was actually about to make an example about you. So Trusenz hosts a party and it goes well into the night. The other tenants start to complain,
Right.
and then the body corporate
security guards come
and they issue you a fine. That fine would be money coming into the body corporate,
Yes.
but it's not levy.
Yeah.
Remember, it's not a levy.
It's additional income.
It's additional income. So then that fine income would then fall within that 50,000 Rand threshold.
Okay.
So the levy income is completely tax free. Any other amounts like fines and late payment fees. So if you've paid your levies late and they apply a late penalty for you paying your fees late, then that is additional income. It's not levies income, it's
Okay.
a penalty. And another example is once the body corporate has collected all of your income, they might have extra income that they want to invest and earn interest. And that interest income is not levy income. So that also falls within the threshold of 50,000. Yes.
I see. Are you still with us, Mpula Puli? What we want from you, send us a voice note, 076-091-6462. Or if you have questions, comment live on our Facebook or YouTube, which we are live on both as we speak. Faniswa will do her best to answer you. We have spoken about body corporate.
Yeah.
The rules around the body corporates. We've spoken around, let's just recap.
We've spoken about interest.
Yes.
So different to the tax-free savings interest, just pure interest that you get from your bank. That's section 10(1).
And Ulendi Ngawana is upset. Uti, yo, hey, interest and savings are taxed. Girl, didn't you know? We told you this in the beginning. Two certainties in life.
Death and taxes.
Death is the other one. And we are talking about the other one. But yeah, again, you know, we keep touching on these things, but I asked you this, and maybe for those who didn't, why is it important that people pay their taxes?
It's important for you to pay the tax because the government cannot run the country on nothing. The money that we pay in taxes actually goes to the government, and the government then in turn takes it back to us in the form of services that they provide to us. If you get sick right now and you don't have medical cover and you need to go to a public hospital, you will get there and there'll be equipment that will be there to assist you.
There's medication, there are doctors, there are nurses, there's an ambulance.
Yes.
All of the above are paid for by tax dollars.
Yes, that's correct. If you are in a situation and you need the police, you call toll free and the police will come running to your aid. They are also paid by your tax money. And that is the importance of paying tax.
But this also doesn't mean, because I've seen this 1,000 times in different scenarios where let's say the police come and break something up. Maybe it's too much noise or the crowd is, being unruly.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, yeah, but I pay your salary. No, not directly. Like, don't be rude.
Yeah, there's no need to be rude. I mean, we know that the police service survives on our tax monies, but there's absolutely no need to be rude.
There's no need to be rude.
He's doing his job as you are doing yours when you do go to work.
Exactly. For people who want to get in touch with you, Faniswa, people who want to maybe have a private consultation, maybe they really have a certain tax issue that they might have to discuss with you in person.
So you can reach me telephonically or via WhatsApp. I'm very open on 061-874-2546. Or you can email me at info@thetaxcafe.co.za.
info@thetaxcafe.co.za. That is Faniswa Mavuso, and she is our resident tax specialist. I think we'll hold it there for the week.
Before I go, Trusenz, I've got a piece of exciting news.
Yes.
So yesterday was actually the deadline for non-provisional taxpayers to submit their tax return.
Okay.
So if you are a salary earner and you needed to have submitted your tax return for the year,
was the deadline.
The deadline was yesterday.
Okay.
But today I woke up to the news that SARS has pushed out that deadline to the 2nd of December.
So there's an extension.
There's an extension.
Guys, you have to file as well. Like, don't sleep on this. This is an opportunity to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And it's as easy as going on e-filing.
That's correct.
Registering for e-filing, because I don't think they are doing face-to-face meetings.
No.
Not immediate. It takes a while.
I actually tried to book one for a client of mine that wanted to come for a face-to-face. I couldn't. In all of the Eastern Cape,
it's just not happening.
No.
Okay.
So your best bet, if you really want to deal directly with SARS, is for a telephonic interview.
Yes.
They can assist you telephonically. Otherwise, e-filing is your best. You can do it at your own time, at your own pace.
It's becoming more and more user friendly. I remember when it arrived, it had its issues. Plus, the internet service that we had back then was not as stable as it is now. So it's much easier now. It's much more user friendly. And I would highly recommend, if you are somebody who is making an income, do the right thing. Not just for the country, but for yourself as well. You fall behind, and penalties. Those aren't nice when
they will catch up to you.
Oh, shame! And those are not nice. Those are not nice when they come back. Faniswa, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
All right, guys. You could have been anywhere between 9 and 12, but this is where you chose to be, and for that we are eternally grateful. I will see you guys next week, Tuesday. I'm off to Durban tomorrow. But until then, take care of yourselves so you can take care of each other. Peace.
We are extraterrestrial. We are KNR.
You're listening to the sound.
Sound good together, huh?
On KNR. We are extraterrestrial. We are KNR.
You're listening to the sound.
Sound good together, huh?
On KNR.